The first thing you notice is the cold. Not the kind that just nips at your fingers, but a deep, damp cold that seeps right into your bones and stays there. It's always there, a constant companion in this world of mud and fear. Then comes the sound. A shrill whistle, cutting through the pre-dawn gloom. Stand to. You don't need telling twice. Your body moves on instinct, muzzle stiff and aching. Grab the rifle. It's cold too, the metal slick with condensation. Fix bayonets. The click is a familiar, grim sound in the semi-darkness. Up onto the fire step, heart thumping and nervous rhythm against your ribs. You peer over the parapet, over the sandbags worn smooth by 1,000 hands and elbows. Out there is no man's land. It's a ghost world at this hour, shrouded in a thick, grey mist that clings to the shattered tree stumps and the tangles of barbed wire. You can't see more than 20 yards. Is anyone out there? A German patrol? A sniper getting into position? Your imagination runs wild. Every shadow could be a man. Every rustle of the wind in the wire could be movement. So you stare. You stare until your eyes burn, trying to pierce the fog, your knuckles white on the stock of your rifle. The whole line does the same. A long, silent row of ghosts in tin hats, waiting for an attack that might never come. They call it the morning hate. It's the hour when both sides are most alert, most ready to kill. After about an hour, the whistle goes again. Stand down. The collective sigh of relief is almost silent, but you can feel it ripple down the trench. Breakfast, if you can call it that. It's the same every day. A tin of bully beef, salty and greasy, and a few rock-hard biscuits they call hardak. You have to soak them in your tea to make them remotely edible, and even then, it's like chewing on a piece of wood. But it's food, it's fuel. You eat it without complaint, huddled in a dugout that stinks of wet earth, stale sweat, and chloride of lime. After the meal, the day's work begins. There's always something to do. You can't just sit around waiting for the next shell. My rifle needs a good clean. The mud gets into everything. Into the bolt, the chamber, the barrel. A jammed rifle is a death sentence, so you clean it meticulously. Then it's onto trench maintenance. Part of the parapet collapsed overnight from the rain. So we spend hours filling sandbags, hauling them into place, the wets and heavy as lead. Your back aches, your hands are raw. Others are on pumping duty, working the handle of a hand-cranked pump to try and clear the water that pools at the bottom of the trench. It's a losing battle. The mud always wins. We call it trench foot soup. You live your life ankle-deep in it. Around midday, if you're lucky, things quieten down. The shelling eases off. The machine guns fall silent. It's an eerie and natural quiet. This is the time you get for yourself. A precious, stolen hour. I find a relatively dry spot on the fire step. Pull out a crumpled piece of paper and a pencil stub. Time to write home. What do you even say? How do you explain this life to Mum and Dad, or to Lucy? You can't tell them about the fear, about the rats the size of cats that scurry around in the dark. You can't describe the smell, or the sight of things no one should ever have to see. So you lie. You tell them the food is all right, that you're keeping warm. You ask about the village, about the dog. You write about the weather, saying it's a bit wet, a massive understatement. You try to sound cheerful, hopeful. You tell them you'll be home by Christmas. We've been saying that for 2 years now. As I write, my face feels tight. I'm trying so hard to keep the homesickness from spilling onto the page, trying to be the stoic soldier they imagine me to be. Crack. The sound is sharp, vicious, and right next to my ear. I flinch so hard I almost drop my pencil. Everyone freezes. Sniper. A single shot out of the blue. A lad a few yards down, who was leaning against the trench wall, slides slowly to the ground. There's no cry, just a soft thud. The quiet is shattered. The letter home feels a world away now. The reality of this place is back, sharp and brutal as a bayonet. We pull him into a dugout, but it's too late. The stolen moment of peace is over. The afternoon decides to get worse. It starts with a low whistle, a sound that grows into a scream. Incoming, you don't even have time to think. Your body just reacts. You dive for cover, pressing yourself into the mud at the bottom of the trench, making yourself as small as possible. The world explodes. The ground shakes, and the air is filled with the roar of detonations, the shriek of shrapnel, and the smell of gadite. Dirt and splintered wood rain down on you. Each explosion is a roll of the dice. Will this one be a direct hit? Will the dugout collapse? You just lie there, praying, your teeth rattling in your skull. It feels like an eternity, but it's probably only 20 minutes. Then, as suddenly as it began, it stops. A new sound replaces the shelling. Shouts in German. They're coming over. The whistle shrieks again, our whistle this time. Over the top, but we're not attacking. We're defending. You scramble back to the fire step, your rifle in hand, your mind a blur of adrenaline and terror. Figures are emerging from the mist, clumsy in their grey uniforms, running towards us across no man's land. Everything becomes a chaotic mess of noise and movement. Our machine guns open up, a terrifying, rhythmic stutter. You just aim, fire, with the bullet, fire again. You don't see faces, just shapes. You don't think about them as men. You can't. They're just targets. It's a brief, frantic, and utterly brutal skirmish. A few of them make it to our wire. Then they're cut down. The rest fall back, melting back into the mist. And then, silence again, broken only by the groans of the wounded out in the wasteland between the lines. As the sun begins to set, casting long, dark shadows across the battlefield, the whistle goes for the evening stand to. It's a repeat of the morning ritual. Back on the fire step, rifle ready, staring out into the growing darkness. The sky, for a moment, is beautiful, streaks of orange and purple. Then the first flares go up, popping high above and drifting down on their little parachutes. They bathe the landscape in a cold, greenish-white light, making everything look stark and dead. The shell craters, the wire, the unmoving forms that weren't there this morning. The desolate beauty is sickening. Night falls completely. My turn for sentry duty. 2 hours of standing in one spot, staring into absolute blackness. This, for me, is the worst part of the day. The darkness plays tricks on your eyes. The tangled wire looks like crawling men. The wind whispers voices. Every little sound from the German line, a cough, a clank of metal, makes your heart leap into your throat. You listen for the telltale snip of wire cutters, for the soft thud of feet in the mud. Your senses are stretched to their breaking point. You're cold, you're exhausted, but you can't afford to lose focus for a single second. To fall asleep on sentry duty is a court-martial offense. More than that, it's a death sentence for you and your mates. So I stand here, staring into the dark. My mind drifts. I think of home, of a warm bed, of a meal that doesn't come from a tin. I think of the lad who was shot this afternoon. I can't remember his name right now. It's terrible, but names have started to blur. There are too many of them. My face is just tired. A deep, weary exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. This is my life now. Stand to, chores, fear. A moment of quiet. More fear, stand to. Then the long, terrifying watch in the dark. Tomorrow, it will all start again. The same cold, the same mud, the same endless cycle. You just have to survive until the next sunrise. That's all you can do. Thanks for watching. If you found this story moving, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more historical narratives. We'll see you in the next one.